Good morning. I am the facilitator for our brainstorming session, and today we're going to share and discuss the issues involved in the Rizal Law's approval. Can anyone share their ideas about the Rizal Law?
I have an idea. I'm Apome R. Irango. So in here, it says that in Republic Act 1425, known as Rizal Law, mandates all educational institutions in the Philippines to offer courses about the Rizal. So for me, when we say all educational institutions, it includes elementary, in high school, and all colleges and universities in the Philippines should offer and study the courses about Jose Rizal. So that's all. Thank you.
And this Rizal Law serves a purpose. Can anyone share some of the aims of this Rizal Law?
I have idea about it. I am Gloribet P. Francisco. The Rizal Law aims to accomplish the following goals. First, to rededicate the lives of youth to the ideals of freedom and nationalism, for which our heroes live and died. Sa tulong ng batas na ito, nagpapaalala sa atin bilang isang mamayang Pilipino na ang mga dugot pawis na inalay sa ating mga bayani na maaaring maging inspirasyon natin sa bawat isa sa pagtulong upang mapatayo ang isang bansang matagumpay. Second, to pay tribute to our national hero for devoting his life and works in shaping the Filipino character. Ito ay upang bigyan ng parangal ang ating pambansang bayani na si Dr. Jose P. Rizal at ipaalala sa mga mamayang Pilipino ang kaniyang mga nagawa at naipaglaban para sa kalayaan ng ating sariling bayan. Ito din ang nagsisilbing paalala na rin ng ating mga responsibilidad bilang isang Pilipino, lalong-lalo na bilang isang kabataan. Third, to gain an inspiring source of patriotism through the study of Rizal's life, works, and writings. Ito ay upang magsisilbing inspirasyon natin bilang isang kabataang Pilipino kung saan nasa level pa lamang tayo ng ating paglilinang ng ating kaisipan. At ayon sa ating mga bayani, ang kabataan ay pag-asa ng ating bayan.
Despite these aims that can help us and our country, there are a lot of issues and opposition to approving the Rizal Law. Does anyone in the group have an idea about these issues and opposition?
I've got an idea for it. Well, there are a lot of issues in oppositions in approving the Rizal Law. Senator Claro M. Recto was main proponent of the Rizal Bill. He sought to sponsor the bill at Congress. However, this was met with stiff opposition from the Catholic Church. During the 1955 Senate election, the church charged Recto with being a communist and an anti-Catholic. After Recto's election, the church continued to oppose the bill mandating the reading of Rizal's novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, claiming it would violate freedom of conscience and religion.
Can anyone else give an idea?
Oppositions to the bill. In the campaign to oppose the Rizal Bill, the Catholic Church urged its adherents to write to their congressmen and senators, showing their opposition to the bill. Later, it organized symposiums. In one of these symposiums, Father Jesus Cabana argued that the novels belonged to the past and that teaching them would mispresent current conditions. Radio commentator Jesus Paredes also said that Catholics had a right to refuse to read them as it would endanger their salvation.
And there are antis and pros in Rizal's bill. Does anyone in the group have an idea you can share about it?
I have an idea about anti-Rizal's bill. I am Leonjin Esguiciones, and my idea about anti-bill is Republic Act number 1425, known as Rizal Law, mandates all educational institutions in the Philippines to offer courses about Jose Rizal. The full name of the law is an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, colleges, and universities courses on the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal. So, kagi-mandatory man sa tanang educational institution sa Pilipinas ang courses about Jose Rizal. There are people who oppose this mandatation. These groups such as Catholic Action of the Philippines, Congregation of the Mission, the Knights of Columbus, and Catholic Teachers Guild organize opposition to the bill. So, ang kaning Catholic Church mo ning oppose ani nga mandatory. The Church continue to oppose the bill mandating the reading of Rizal's novels No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo, claiming it would violate freedom of conscience and religion. So, ning oppose sila kay makabiolate daw ng freedom sila o silahang religion. So, si Francisco Soc Rodrigo, Mariano Jesus Cuenco, and Decoroso Rosales also oppose this mandatation of the courses about Jose Rizal nga mandatory nga i-include sa curricula of all public and private schools. The Archbishop of Manila, Rufino Santos, stated in a pastoral letter that Catholic students would be affected if the compulsory reading of an expurgated version was pushed through. So sa Archbishop of Manila po nga si Rufino Santos nag-prostated po siya nga ang Catholic students kay maapektuhan jud if compulsory ang reading sa objectionable part version sa courses ni Jose Rizal nga ilahang gi-mandatory nga ibutang sa all curricular of public and private school.
Good day, everyone. I am Christine A. Capito, and I have an idea about a pro bill. So when we say pro, a person who support a proposal or something. So there are a pro bill of Dr. Jose Rizal Law. First, Veteranos de la Revolution Spirit of 1896 Alagad ni Rizal, the Primasons and the Knights of Rizal. Second is the Senate Committee on Education sponsored a bill co-written by both Jose P. Laurel and Recto. And the third one is Arsenio Lacson, Manila's mayor, who supported the bill, walked out of mass when the press read a circular from the Archbishop denouncing the bill. Asuncio Lacson is one of the most vocal supporters of Dr. Jose Rizal bill.
And why are Rizal's novels considered anti-Catholic?
Why are Rizal novels anti-Catholic? So during the 1955 Senate election, the church charged Recto with being a communist and anti-Catholic. After Recto's election, they continued to oppose the bill mandating the reading of Rizal novels No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo, claiming that it would violate freedom of conscience and religion, because Dr. Jose Rizal argued that his God was not like a God of the Catholic, as his God was for above such thing. The priors are portrayed negatively because the novels of Dr. Jose Rizal were banned by Spanish, and they are not favored about the novels of Dr. Jose Rizal. And authorities in the Philippines, because of their allegation of corruption and abuse by the colonial government and the Catholic Church. Padre Damaso, an abrasive prior and the father of Maria Clara. So, Padre Damaso mauni siya ang papa ni Maria Clara. Padre Sibayla, a cunning yet clever friar. And he also a Dominican priest and former teacher. He was also a teacher of Ibarra and very helpful to Padre Damaso in times of anomalies ahead, and wear golden glasses. Padre Salvi has infatuation with Maria Clara and framed Crisostomo Ibarra in an uprising. Infatuation means is a feeling of foolish or very strong love or admiration for someone or something. So si Padre Salvi mao ni siya ang pari nga naa siya'y pagtingin ni Maria Clara because si Maria Clara is gwapa man gud ni siya kaayo sa ilaang lugar. Ang Padre Camaro is a lustful and attempt to rape Julie. At isa rin siya sa mga pari sa bayan ng San Diego na mainitin ang ulo at laging nakatalo ng mamamahayag na si Binzay. At siya rin ang pari na may balak na gustong gahasain si Julie. Padre Irene let Kapitan Tiago's addiction of opium continue and forge his last will and testament. Isa rin siya sa mga pari na kaanib ng mga mag-aaral sa pagtatayo ng akademyang para sa wikang Espanyol. Padre Milon, a professor who publicly humiliates his students to compensate his ignorance in physics. And he also a strict professor who easily punish those in class who don't follow his rules. So, isa rin siya sa mga pare na napaka-stricto sa kanyang mga estudyante.
Does anyone in the group have an additional idea you can share about the oppositions to approving the Rizal Bill?
I have an idea about it, and by the way, my name is Rene B. Gallego. On the statement being provided by and said by Senator Mariano G. Cuenco, as he said that Rizal attacked dogmas, beliefs, and practices of the church. If we say dogmas, a truth being revealed by God which the magisterium of church declared as binding. If we say the magisterium, it is the teaching authority of the Roman Catholics which are being exercised or being implemented by bishops as well as the popes. Example for dogmas is this papal infallibility, the divinity of the Christ, the assumption of Mary, and the real presence of Eucharist, as well as the catechism. Senator Mariano believed that the novels of Rizal attack and mightily disrespect the murag katungod sa mga Catholic members. Ingon pa siya nga, the assertion that Rizal limited himself to castigating undeserving priests and refrained from ridiculing or putting in the dogmas. Siya nga, murag na ay mga forceful o confident nga mga statements si Rizal nga gilabay batok sa mga Catholic, sa mga beliefs of the Catholics, and para niyang kinakastigo ang mga pari dahil parang may mga mali sa kanilang mga ginagawa, at parang nanlilibak si Jose Rizal, at parang iniinsulto na rin niya dahil sa kanyang mga gawa at kanyang mga nobela na parang pinatatamaan niya na masama ang relihiyon na Katoliko. Catholic Church is absolutely gratuitous and misleading. Na sabi pa ni Senator Mariano na wala naman siyang parang murag wala siyang sakto nga mga ebidensya or kanang mga good reasons in which nagpamatuod nga ang Catholic Church ang Catholic Church mga naay mga dili maayo nga mga binuhatan. Tapos ana pa si Senator Mariano na ang mga novels ni Rizal might be lead to misleading or giving wrong ideas or mga lahi nga mga pananawon panlantaw sa mga tao nga murag makaana ang mga tao nga uy lain na day sa Catholic Church day sa una no, uy lain na day sa ilang pamalakad sa una. And that's all, thank you.
I am Maribek L. Ibiza. I also have an idea about the opposition of Senator Mariano Jesus Cuenco to the Rizal Bill. Cuenco touched on Rizal's denial of the existence of purgatory, as it was not found in the Bible and that Moses and Jesus Christ did not mention its existence. Senator Cuenco opposed the law of Rizal because base sa tinukoy niya that Rizal denied the existence of purgatory. It is very clear that Rizal doesn't believe in purgatory because kasi nga, ayon sa kanya, that it was not found in the Bible at hindi binanggit ni na Moses at Hesus Kristo ang pagkakaroon nito. But also, Senator Cuenco concluded that a majority of the members of this chamber, if not all, our good friend, the gentleman from the Sulu, believe in purgatory. With the statement of Rizal, pinaglaban pa rin ni Senator Cuenco that it exists because he concluded that karamihan sa chamber like the gentleman of Sulu naniniwala sa purgatory. That's why he really opposed to the law. The continuation of the opposition, outside the Senate, the Catholic schools threatened to close down if the bill was passed. Imagine, even sa labas ng Senado, in the Catholic schools, ay nagbabanta na isara ang kanilang mga paaralan if the bill was passed. Ganito sila ka hindi sang-ayon sa Rizal Bill. Talagang napakaraming pinagdaanan na oppositions ang pag-approve sa Rizal Bill. At yun lamang ang aking maibabahagi. Salamat sa pakikinig.
But Recto defends this idea, and Recto countered that if that happened, the schools would be nationalized. Recto did not believe the threat, stating that the schools were too profitable to be closed. The schools gave up the threat, but threatened to punish legislators in favor of the law in future elections. A compromise was suggested to use the expurgated version, Recto's defense. So, ipinagtanggol ang batas ni Rizal, ni Recto at ni Laurel at sinasabing ang layunin nito ay para panatilihing buhay ang alaala ni Rizal sa isipan ng mga kabataan at layunin din ng batas na isama sa kurikulum. Dumaan sa mga deliberasyon, katakot-takot na debate ang pinagdaanan ng bill bago ito lagdaan para maging isang ganap na batas. Dumaan sa iba't ibang reaksyon, mga pambabatikos at oposisyon, partikular na mula sa simbahang Katolika dahil sumasalungat sa mga turo ng simbahang Katolika. So, ibig sabihin, hindi naging madali para sa kanila ang pangyayari nang ipinaglalaban nila ang batas. Kung tayo pa siguro ang nasa ganoong pangyayari, siguro sumuko na tayo. Pero sila ay naging matatag para ipaglaban ang batas na sinurat ni Dr. Jose Rizal. And that's all my idea. Thank you.
On May 12, 1956, a compromise inserted by Committee on Education Chairman Laurel that accommodated the objections of the Catholic Church was approved unanimously. It is the significant of the date on May 12, 1956. It was all about ang mga pagtuto ng simbahang Katoliko ay naaprubahan ng nagkakaisa. The bill specified that only college university students would have the options of reading unexpurgated versions of politically contested reading material, such as No Limitang Hiri and El Filibusterismo. So the students would have the options of reading unexpurgated versions, which means not having potentially offensive only the college students. The nulli and feli were required readings for college students. Section 2 mandated that the students were to read the novels as they were written in Spanish, although approbations ordered that Board of National Education's create rules on how this should be applied. The last two sections were focus on making Rizal's works accessible to the general public. The second sections mandated the schools to have an adequate number of copies in their libraries, while the third ordered the board to publish the works in major Philippine languages. The bill was enacted on June 12, 1956, Flag Day. June 12, 1956, it is a date when a compromise bill was filed and authored by Senator Jose P. Laurel, approved by the Philippine legislature as Republic Act 1425, otherwise known as Rizal Law. The Republic Act was signed by the President June 12, 1956. From the notes presiding the body of the document, one may infer that the bill was originally proposed in the legislative arm of the Philippine Republic, in the Senate and House of Representatives. Republic Act Number 425, known as the Rizal Law, mandates all educational institutions in the Philippines to offer courses about Jose Rizal. The law mandates that a course on the life of Jose Rizal should be included in the curricula in all schools, colleges, and universities, especially in tertiary and graduate levels, both in public and private schools. The bill was enacted in June 12, which is June 12 is Independence Day. The mere fact that the act was passed on the date of our independence seeks to stir up a greater sense of fervor in the Filipino, to believe in their own country and national identity, who were as a nation. Having a clear national identity, it is important and unites all citizens into one in group. A common identity defines citizens' membership in a country. That's all. Thank you.
And then there's the aftermath. Who can explain and share their thoughts on it?
Me, I have an idea about it. Aftermath means pagkatapos. After the bill was enacted into law, pagkatapos na isabatas ang bill, there were no recorded instance of students applying for exemption from reading novels, and no known procedure for such exemptions. Walang naitalang pagkakataon na binasa ng mga estudyante ang nobela. In 1994, Iridin Telby Rams ordered the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports to fully implemented the law, as there had been reports that it has still not been fully implemented. Sa taong 1994, inutos ni Iridin Telby Rams sa Departamento ng Edukasyon, Kultura at Palaruan naganap na ipatupad ang batas dahil na-report na hindi ito masyadong naipatupad. May gusto lang akong idagdag na ideya kahit hindi ito related sa na-assign kong topic. Because of my curiosity, why the Catholic should against the bill? Sa akong pagka-kuryosidad, nganong against man ang Katoliko sa bill which is Rizal Law. I got research, I found out the reason. Sa aking pananaliksik, nakita ko ang rason. The cover of the novel is full on symbol and had it meaning. Some of that symbol is have bad effect to the church. Sa cover ng nobelang No Limitang Hiri ay may mga simbolo at may mga ibig sabihin. Sa ilang simbolong iyon ay may nakakasama sa simbahan. Those symbols are cross, that means suffering. Other one is man with hairy feet, means priest using religion in a dirty way. Isa na doon ang simbolong cross na ang ibig sabihin ay paghihirap. At ang isa ay man with hiripit, ang ibig sabihin ay ginamit ng pari ang relihiyon sa masamang paraan. At yan lang po, maraming salamat.
That will be the end of our brainstorming session. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and God bless.